Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear Pakistani brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. वहीं छोड़ देना चाहिए था, हाँ? Friends, what a pleasure it is. Wow, what a crowd it is. The movers and shakers of Pakistan. You are the movers, I am shaker. It's indeed a pleasure and a privilege for both Rashi and me to be here. इकबाल, तुमने कहा कि हम बुलाने से आ नहीं रहे हैं यार, तुमने सिर्फ एक बार कहा और देखो हम आ गए हैं. और मोहब्बत अगर जाने से ही होगी तो हम तो जाने वाले भी नहीं हैं. I was telling when I met the past governors this evening, this afternoon, that there is a strange enigma about Pakistan as far as Indians are concerned, and I'm sure it is vice versa. As I mentioned, the day I decided yes, I would be coming here, I told a few of my friends, and they were all eager. They said, तुम जब जाओगे मैं जाऊँगा. मैं अपने बच्चों को बोलता हूँ कई बार चलो मेरे साथ किसी रोटरी फंक्शन में. They are not very keen, but when I mentioned Pakistan, they would be ready to come absolutely. And strangely enough, this is the only place where we create fuss about visas. शायद इसी कारण से वो एनिग्मा है. अगर बहुत इजीली आ जा पाते तो शायद ये एनिग्मा भी नहीं होता, पर इसे हटाने की ज़रूरत है. And I am sure our chief guest here is listening to our conversation, and probably something will, he is one person amongst us who can move this. And I'm sure when we get back to India, we'll try and do something about it. Chief guest, Nisar Khawra Sahab, Krish, RI President's representative, Governor Iqbal, and the other two governors who are present here, Larry and Pervez, and all the PDGs, the pearls, diamonds, and gems of District-3271 and 3272, and my dear fellow Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you all the love that I can of all the people of India. It is strange, अगर उनसे एक पोल लिया जाए, so amongst the most loving countries अगर कोई होगा इंडिया के लिए, it will be Pakistan. And I am sure it is vice versa. मेरे को आज तक कभी समझ नहीं आया कि हमारे बीच में अगर बहुत ज़्यादा मोहब्बत नहीं है दोनों मुल्कों में, तो क्यों नहीं है? I can really not understand. लोगों में है. Some of my best friends are sitting in this front row here. And by the time I go, I tell you some of the best friends will also be sitting in the last row here. इकबाल से मुलाकात मेरी हुई थी अमन की आशा के प्रोग्राम के दौरान. He was in India, in Delhi. Iqbal and Irfan both were there, and so was Faiz. ये पहली मुलाकात में I started liking this person. He's a soft-spoken person, but I know he can get his things done. He was brought there by another friend of mine. भाई देखिए आप ये सारी ट्रेनिंग की जिम्मेदारी मुझ पर ठहरा दी है उसने, फैज़ ने, कि उसको जो भी ट्रेनिंग दी गई वो मैंने दी थी. ट्रेनिंग का मसला तो ऐसा है, one man saw that his child was growing up and he thought he's now 18, he needs to be told the ways of the world. So he called his son and said, my dear son, I need to discuss something with you. He said, what's it, Dad, that you want to discuss? He said, I wanted to discuss something about sex. He said, but Dad, I'm too busy now, we'll discuss in the evening. He said, okay. In the evening, when the dad was sitting around, the son came down after a shower. He came down, sat next to his father, put his arm around his father and said, yes, Dad, you wanted to discuss about sex? Tell me, what is it that you wish to know? Ab Faiz ko main kya training dunga ji? He's too good and he's doing some real good work. देखिए फाउंडेशन की ट्रेनिंग उसे ऐसी दी गई कि इस पूरे रीजन का रीजनल रोटरी फाउंडेशन कोऑर्डिनेटर फैज़ किदवई है. और एक और अजीज़ दोस्त मेरा बैठा है, नाम ही अजीज़ रख दिया है. कोई कुछ बोल ही नहीं सकता, अजीज ही होगा वो हर कोई के लिए. हर दिल अजीज. अजीज, थैंक यू फॉर ऑल दैट यू डू फॉर मी एंड फॉर राशि. You and Samina are wonderful people. Thank you so much. Waited for time. I am an Indian. I got my visa in less than 1 hour. You should know who to approach. Yes, friends, it did not take me even 1 hour and Aziz had got the visa. Friends, that's what the beauty of Rotary is. You suddenly make friends of people you did not know earlier. And today I'm going to speak to you about, you know, at the district conferences when I go, I feel a conference gives you an opportunity to look back at what you have done and plan what you wish to do. That's for the governor. Governor को तो लगता है मेरा टेंशन खत्म हुआ. 3 दिन बाद इकबाल को पूछा मेरा टेंशन खत्म हो गया, उसे लगेगा टेंशन जलाल का शुरू हो जाएगा. वो मिस्टर शर्मा रात भर सो नहीं पा रहे थे. रात को 3-4 बज गए, सो नहीं रहे. तो मिस्टर शर्मा अचानक जगी, बोली क्या भाई तुम सो नहीं रहे हो? बोले बहुत टेंशन हो रहा है. बोला क्यों? बोला वो मिस्टर मिश्रा जो बगल वाले हैं पड़ोसी, उनको 5 लाख रुपए देने हैं और कल ही देने हैं, पर मेरे पास तो नहीं है. तो बोला दैट्स ऑल. उसने फ़ोन मिलाया मिस्टर मिश्रा को. 4-5 घंटे बाद जब फ़ोन उठाया, उन्होंने कहा मिस्टर मिश्रा. बोले जी हाँ बोलिए. बोले देखिए मैं मिसेस शर्मा बोल रही हूँ, आपको जो 5 लाख देने थे ना रुपए कल सुबह, वो हम नहीं दे सकते. बोल के फ़ोन रख दिया. बोला अब तुम सो जाओ, टेंशन वो करेगा. तो इकबाल तुम्हें पता है ना क्या करना है अब 2 दिन बाद? जो करना है जलाल करेगा अब. But friends, what I'm going to talk to you about today is, this is one day for each one of us. This is the largest gathering we have of Rotarians. Let's today ask a question to ourselves. Why am I a Rotarian? और इसका जवाब आज रात को सोचिएगा. Why are you a Rotarian? हर कोई हर अलग कारण से Rotarian है, या बना किसी और कारण से था और आज किसी दूसरे कारण से Rotarian है. Are you doing your bit as a Rotarian? Why are you a Rotarian? I'll give you my own story, and what I'm going to tell you are my own stories. This is what I have experienced, and I'm sure you'll be able to relate to it some way or the other. I joined Rotary when I was only 24 years old. Service was the last thing on my mind. I was born in all comforts of life. Like I say, my life was air conditioned. Ghar air conditioned, gaadi air conditioned, office jaun to office air conditioned, best school, everything, played every game on earth possible, had a great life. Dard kya hota hai, dusre ki problem kya hai, मुझे छू के नहीं गई थी. How would I come to know what life in a basti was, or 50 kilometers away from Calcutta, what life of a villager was? I never knew. I joined Rotary only to make friends. Service came much later. One day, our club was having a program where we were fitting artificial limbs and we were giving crutches to people. We were giving tricycles so that they could ride it by their hands. हर कोई के जिम्मे एक एक काम दिया गया था. मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी, आई हैव टू चेक वेदर उस बंदे के हाथ में इतना दम है क्या कि उस वो ट्राइसाइकिल को चला पाएगा. तो हाउ वुड आई डू इट? आई वुड होल्ड द हैंड ऑफ दिस फेलो एंड आस्क हिम टू पुल माय हैंड. When he pulled his hand, I would know how much strength that person had in his hand. I said, okay. So the first person came in. He stretched out his hand and so did I. Oh God, but I didn't want to touch his hand. They were soiled hands because he came crawling on his legs and his hands. I didn't want to touch his hand, but I had no option. Meri zimmedari yahi thi, that was my duty, and I grudgingly held the hand. The second hand, I tell you friends, was worse. The third or the fourth one was of a leper, and I had no option but to hold those hands. But friends, by the fifth or sixth hand, the difference between them and me had gone. That day probably a member of Rotary Club had become a Rotarian. Friends, each one of us gets an opportunity like that. We are all of us in Rotary because I feel Rotary is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for friendship, for leadership, for using your own vocation for the help of others. It is an opportunity of service. It's an opportunity of giving, and it's an opportunity of bringing peace into this world. Let me move through a little faster because we are running short of time. Friendship, that's what I joined Rotary for, and that's what these friends are. I say, मेरे दुख और सुख के समय में अगर मेरे पास 10 बंदे खड़े हैं, I promise you उसमें से 9 तो रोटेरियन जरूर होंगे, और वो जो एक नहीं है ना, उसे रोटेरियन बना के छोड़ेंगे. That's what Rotary is. You may not meet your best friend every week, but your Rotary Club member, you meet him every week. 50 times a year you are meeting him. दोस्ती तो रहेगी, and lifetime दोस्ती रहेगी. Friends, I'm so happy and fortunate that आज अगर Atlas खोल के मैं कहीं भी finger रख दूं, in the map I know there is a friend of mine. I'm sure it's for so many. Faiz Kidwai, I don't know पूरे world की बात मैं नहीं कहूँगा, लेकिन अफगानिस्तान से हांगकांग के बीच में फैज का भाई यही हाल है, वो जहां उंगली रख दे उसका एक दोस्त जरूर है वहां. Same thing is with Aziz and so many others here. Friends, that's what Rotary gives us. Amazing friendship. Let's go out. ये ध्यान रखें कि अगली बार मीटिंग में जाएं, नया बंदा जो ज्वाइन किया है सबसे पहले हाथ उसी का पकड़ें. Let's shake hands with him. I have joined Rotary for friendship, and even today friendship gives me great kick out of Rotary. Rotary is my opportunity of friendship. Rotary, friends, is also my opportunity of leadership. But for Rotary, I would not be standing in front of nearly 1,000 people and speaking from here. हम जब स्कूल में इंग्लिश पढ़ते थे तो हमको ये लगता था हमको बंगला में सिखाई जा रही है इंग्लिश. इंग्लिश भी हिंदी में सिखाई जा रही है. We used to think in Hindi, talk in English. Quickly translate. That's how most people do. सामने किसी के बोलने में लड़खड़ाहट होती थी. Each one of you, I'll tell you, 90% of our presidents of Rotary clubs, ask them to put up their hand and they will say they have not been presidents or secretaries of any other organization, but they have been of Rotary. Why? Because Rotary gives extraordinary opportunities even to ordinary people. When I became the governor, I was only 38 years old. I wasn't the brightest guy in our district. I wasn't the wealthiest. I wasn't the most influential guy in our district. And yet, when I entered the Rotary Club of Calcutta, which is the who's who of Rotary in India, कौन सा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट या बिग शॉट उस क्लब का मेंबर नहीं. When I entered, they all gave me the respect that probably would have been deserved by my father and not by me. Why? Only because of Rotary. An extraordinary opportunity to an ordinary man. I'm sure so many of us get it. Don't ever say no to any opportunity in Rotary. 25 साल से 27 साल से मुझे याद नहीं है मैंने रोटरी में किसी भी काम के लिए कभी ना बोला होगा. Why? Because that's my leadership opportunity. That is also my voluntary opportunity. मैं वॉलंटियर हूँ. वॉलंटियर का काम क्या है? मैं करना चाहता हूँ, तो मैं ना कैसे बोल सकता हूँ? मुझे किसी ने काम कहा, मैं बोलूँ जी मैं करूँगा नहीं, तो मैं वॉलंटियर कैसा? If I am a volunteer, I have to always say yes, I am ready to do it. So friends, that is what I have always believed. Let's not say no to anything in Rotary. करना है इसे जरूर. Rotary, my friends, is a great opportunity for me to be able to use my vocation to be of help to other people. My friend Dr. Bose has come with me here. He's a cardiac surgeon. His profession is saving the lives of people. But I am a builder. How do I save lives of people? Much as I would like to. Dr. Bose हर दिन कितने लोगों की जान बचाते हैं, और यहाँ से पता नहीं कितने पाकिस्तानी बच्चे गए हैं जिनकी उन्होंने जान बचाई है और एक पैसा भी नहीं लिया है. And you can give a big round of applause to him. Satyajit, as I call him, that applause was only for one child. ऐसे 150 applause आपके लिए, because 150 सर्जरीज इन्होंने इस लास्ट एक साल में हमारे लिए करी हैं. Thank you so much, Satyajit. So he gets an opportunity of doing service, using his vocation to help other people. But each one of us, one time or the other, get an opportunity of using your own vocation to be of help to other people. I got one. Tsunami had struck Andaman Nicobar Islands, and we got an opportunity कि वहाँ पर एक rebuild करना था एक island को. उस island पे पहुँचने के लिए, it was a God-forsaken island. You could not go and live one night there because there was no electricity, no water, nothing. And yet we decided to build 500 homes for the people there. Homes, why? Because I am a builder. I thought, यार ये एक मौका है, मुझे घर बना के देने हैं इन लोगों के लिए. And friends, we made those houses, and I still cannot forget that sight when on the day of delivery, the Lieutenant Governor, me, and a few other people, we were all in the helicopter. And as the helicopter was encircling that Hut Bay Island, I saw a glimmer absolutely coming up. These were those 500 homes. They were shining. Friends, these were the worst homes I had ever made. टिन की छतें थी उनकी, और टिन की ही दीवारें थी उनकी. Worst homes, worst design homes, but those which gave me far greater satisfaction than all the beautiful buildings that I had made. That's when I thought I have been able to use my vocation of helping others. How? Because of Rotary. Rotary is my opportunity of helping other people by my vocation. Go back, think today. Have you used your vocation to be of help to somebody else? If not, today is the day. Let's start it now. Friends, most of all, Rotary is my opportunity of service to mankind. As I said, join kiya tha fellowship ke liye, but today it is service which gives me the greatest kick in Rotary. To me, service is the rent I pay. Service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. And I want to be a good tenant of Mother Earth. So, my motto is service above self. सारी जिंदगी हम सिर्फ लेते ही हैं, हमें मिलता ही है दूसरों से. Rotary gives me an opportunity of being able to give back something to the community. Vivekananda, one of the greatest sages from thinkers, philosophers from India, he said, when you are helping the other person, do not think you are obliging that person. You are getting obliged. कि तुम्हें एक मौका मिला है of being help to somebody else. He says in life, always take the position of the donor. And जब donation करो तो ऐसे करो कि the donor will kneel down and ask, may I donate? I think that is one of the best forms of serving other people. Service, my friends, is when I'm ready to think about other people before I think of myself. When I'm caring for other people. When I'm ready to share what I have with other people. Gandhi was once getting up on the train and the train started. वो चप्पल पहनते थे, उनकी एक चप्पल गिर गई. His immediate reaction was कि वो ट्रेन चल पड़ी थी, उन्होंने दूसरी चप्पल निकाल के उधर फेंक दी. तो उनके दोस्त ने पूछा, भाई ये क्या किया, चप्पल क्यों फेंक दी? उसने कहा, वो जो एक गिरी है वो किसी को मिलेगी तो सही, पर काम नहीं आएगी. मैं दूसरी भी दे दूं, उसके काम तो आ जाएगी कम से कम. Thinking about other people before you think of yourself. A small act of service. एक चप्पल, हवाई चप्पल, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, दिया ना दिया. But a big attitude Am I ready to think that way? Rotary gives me an opportunity to do that. There was this young boy, he came in a flashy Ferrari car one day. दोस्तों ने रोका, hey, तुमको गाड़ी कैसे मिली? Well, it's my birthday, my brother gave it. One friend said, oh, I wish it was my birthday. The next said, I wish I had a car like that. The third said, I wish I had a brother like yours. But the fourth said, I wish I was like your brother. Soch, it's all a matter of thinking. Am I wanting in life or am I wanting to give back in life? Friends, amazing opportunity we get because of Rotary. We are at the brink of eradicating a disease from the face of the earth. Come to think of it, आज 2 minutes सोचिएगा what we are achieving. It's not your and my role to remove a disease from the face of earth. It's the job of WHO. It's the job of the governments. But 2 साल पहले सॉल्ट लेक कन्वेंशन में WHO की हेड वहाँ पर पोडियम पे जाके बोलती है, but for Rotary, we would not have been able to do it for another 20 years. And what have we done? In 1985, 350,000 children were dying every year. This year, less than 600 children have died. Which means what? Over the last 25 years, we have saved nearly 30 lakh children from dying and double the number from getting crippled. Friends, that's as good as stopping a world war. That's the number of people who die in a world war. And you and I have been able to do it. बस वो जो जरा सा बच गया है, वो आप सबको करना है. And let me tell you, if there is one person who is directly responsible, I am your director, this falls into my area and I am directly responsible for it. Or mere se bhi zyada Aziz Mehman, because he is the chairman for this. Aziz, this year, if India can do it, Pakistan definitely can do it. All my friends from the western portion of Pakistan, can you raise your hands? Pashchim ke side se hai. Is that Baluchistan probably? More than anybody else, ye aap sab ki zimmedari hai ki polio is saal hame khatam karna hai. If we can finish it in Pakistan, friends, we will finish it in the world. 3 more countries only. 4 थे, India तो हटा दिया है WHO ने endemic list से. 3 बच गए हैं, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, Afghanistan probably will happen at one go only. What will be left probably is Nigeria, and we are working hard for Nigeria too. Friends, let us have this opportunity. This is your and my opportunity. One time you will ever get. अपने दोस्तों से किसी से पूछना जो रोटरी का मेंबर नहीं है, उससे पूछना तुमने ऐसा कोई काम किया है जो कि तुम कह सको कि हमने इतिहास लिख दिया, where you have written history that people will not get one more disease. This is the only second vaccine preventable disease ever to be eradicated. Smallpox and now polio. It's a huge thing. Let's do it. I can do it because I am a Rotarian. And because of this, I am a Rotarian. Friends, I am a Rotarian because Rotary tells me to give. I am fortunate और हम सब किस्मत वाले हैं कि हमारे हाथ लाइफ में ऐसे हैं, ऐसे नहीं. खुदा न करे किसी दिन हाथ ऐसे हो तो उससे ज़्यादा ज़िल्लत का दिन नहीं हो सकेगा शायद. But there are millions who have their hands like this. Friends, your and my opportunity to go and help them today. And that's what Rotary teaches us. It has taught me to be able to give. Various ways of giving. Give your time, energy, give your resources who have. There is Larry. Larry के वो जो एक मेजर डोनर बनते हैं तो एक डायमंड लगता है. Larry के पिन में डायमंड लगने की अब जगह नहीं बच गई है, ये हाल है. Can we give a big round of applause to Larry for all the contributions that he has given? Friends, Rotary gives you and me an opportunity to be able to help somebody else. और दोस्तों मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि हम कितना भी कुछ अपने लिए करने लगें, ultimately we want to do for others. I'll give you 2 examples. Bill Gates, the richest and I would say one of the smartest men on the earth. 10 साल तक he remains the richest man on the earth. Not an easy job for anybody to do. What does he do at the age of 54? He steps down from Microsoft and he writes 5 years later that when I look back in life, I find I wasted my years every day getting up to see whether the world was using the browser of Microsoft or not. What today I am doing in eradicating polio and other diseases from this world is far more enriching to me than what I was doing when I was working for Microsoft. दोस्तों, तारीख गवाह रहेगी. आज से 20 साल बाद लोग बिल गेट्स को माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के लिए नहीं, लेकिन उसके ह्यूमैनिटेरियन कामों के लिए उसको याद रखेंगे. So what I call this the curve of giving. आदमी जिंदगी में खुद के लिए कमाता है और फिर देने लग जाता है. बिल गेट्स का कर्व 52 साल की उम्र पे आया. वॉरेन बुफे, द सेकेंड रिचेस्ट मैन, At the age of 75 plus, he said, मेरे पास $1.5 लाख है, $1.5 करोड़ है. आप तो जीरो भी नहीं लगा पाएंगे, मैं तो नहीं लगा सकता. And उसने कहा, I'll only give 10% to my son, rest 1,35,000 crores go to Bill and Melinda Gates for giving away for charity. 75 साल तक कर्व चलता रहा खुद के लिए और उसके बाद दूसरे के लिए. बिल गेट्स का 52 साल में. आपका कर्व कब आ रहा है? It is you who has to decide. And friends, it is because of Rotary, because of the opportunity that I get of giving, that I am a Rotarian. सिर्फ आपको एक बात बता दूं, हम कई लोग सोचते हैं कि बचा के रख लें, तो दोस्तों ऐसा है कि कस्टम्स बहुत कड़ा है, कुछ ले जाने नहीं देगा, सब यहीं छोड़ के जाने होगा. ट्राई करिए कभी किसी ने. जिंदगी भर बटोरता रहा हीरे मोती, खबर न थी कि कफन में जेब नहीं होती. ले दोनों हाथों से रहे हो, एक हाथ से तो देना भी शुरू कर दें हम. फ्रेंड्स, आई नो वी आर पुशिंग फॉर टाइम, बट लेट मी टेल यू दिस वन इज इम्पोर्टेंट. एक बंदा, एक भिखारी गया एक सेठ की दुकान पर, सुबह सुबह पहुंच गया कि ज़रा 20 रुपए दे दीजिएगा. तो उसने कहा सुबह बोहनी का समय, अभी टाइम वेस्ट मत करो, अभी नहीं, जाओ जाओ जाओ. 2 घंटे बाद आया जी वो 20 रुपए. बोला कुछ नहीं, 20 रुपए यहाँ पर नहीं चलेगा. 2 घंटे बाद फिर आया, बोला ज़रा सा गेहूँ दे देंगे. बोला नहीं 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 मिलेगा. शाम के 4 बज गए, बोला 1 गिलास पानी मिलेगी. बोला क्या प्याऊ खोल रखा है यहाँ, हम पानी पिलाएंगे तुम्हारे को, जाओ यहाँ से. शटर बंद कर रहा था दुकानदार कि इतने में वो भिखारी बोला, अच्छा एक काम करो, 1 मुट्ठी रेत दे दो मुझे. रेत आप समझते होंगे, रेत दे दो. तो उसने कहा यार क्या, चलो उठा के रेत उसने दे दी. रेत दी तो उसने कहा कि तुम्हें रेत मिली, लेकिन तुम्हें क्या फ़ायदा हुआ? बोला जी मुझे कोई फ़ायदा हुआ ना हुआ, आपको ज़िंदगी में कुछ देने की आदत तो पड़ी. हम सबको देने की आदत पड़ रही है बिकॉज ऑफ रोटरी. एंड फ्रेंड्स, लास्टली, आई फील आई एम अ रोटेरियन बिकॉज आई फील आई कैन मेक अ डायरेक्ट कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन टू पीस इन दिस वर्ल्ड. Somebody may say, oh, big talk, these people will bring peace into this world. Friends, it is such people only who will bring peace in this world. You and I will never opt for war. We may not be able to stop wars. That is political decision. But tell me, a world without war, is it a world at peace? When millions do not have a roof above their head, is it a world at peace? When hundreds of thousands are not sure whether they're going to get their dinner tonight, is that a world at peace? When there are so many diseases, when there is still discrimination amongst people, and race, and caste, and tribe, and religion, is it a world at peace? It is not. Friends, वो जो कलकत्ते में एक फुटपाथ पे वो लेडी सो रही है, जिसके 3 बेटियां हैं, हस्बैंड छोड़ के चला गया है, एक ही कंबल है जो चारों जन ओढ़ते हैं. वो सर्दी है, बरसात है, गर्मी है, वो एक ही कंबल है उसके पास ओढ़ने की. Go and ask her what peace is. To her, it doesn't make a difference which country is fighting with whom. To her, peace is in that piece of bread that you will be ready to give to her. That is what you and I are doing. जब एक 80 साल की औरत के जब आंखें हम वापस दे देते हैं because of cataract operations and she can see her grandchild for the first time in life, that is what peace is. When a man who lost both his legs and the dignity in life because he cannot work for his earning the bread in his family, you put 2 legs with just 2,000 rupees and he takes his first steps walking once again in life. Ask that man and he'll say, I am peaceful today. When you eradicate a disease from this face of the earth, that's when you are bringing peace. Every day, friends, Rotarians are doing one act of peace, each one of them. 1.2 million acts of peace every day are being done. What else is this Aman Ki Asha program? Dr. Bose को क्या ज़रूरत पड़ी है कि पाकिस्तान से एक बच्चा क्वेटा से आ रहा है और उसकी सर्जरी वो वहाँ पे कर रहे हैं free of cost, whereas he could have made at least 2 lakh rupees on that one surgery. Dr. Devi Shetty is doing it. There are 10 other hospitals who are doing it in India. And मुझे क्या ज़रूरत पड़ी है कि मेरा हर दिन 365 दिन शुरुआत होती है, मैं ऑफिस में घुसता हूँ और वहाँ पर 1 या 2 बच्चे मेरे सोफे के ऊपर में वहाँ बैठे रहते हैं रिसेप्शन पे, जिनकी सर्जरी आज डिसाइड होने वाली है. Friends, we are blessed that we can bring peace into these people's lives. हम पता नहीं क्यों इस जहाँ को हिस्सों में बांटते हैं, बांटने के बाद उसे अपना रखना चाहते हैं, लेकिन ऐसा ही अगर है तो let me end with what John Lennon had said. I don't exactly remember the lyrics, but they are something like this. The song was Imagine, and John Lennon said, imagine there are no countries, nothing to die or kill for. Imagine there are no countries, nothing to kill or die for, no religion too. It isn't hard to do. A brotherhood of mankind. Imagine all the people living in the world as one. You may say, I am a dreamer, but I am not the only one. One day, you too will join me, and the world will live as one. Doston, peace is possible. And it is possible because of people like you and me. And finally, what is Rotary? किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है, और दोस्तों रोटरी भी इसी का नाम है. Thank you.